Mr. Speaker, people would be interested to know that the author of that letter was one Margaret Thatcher. And before I continue to go on, just let me say that I am no fan of Margaret Thatcher. If nothing else goes right for me in a day, Madam Speaker, I can at least count on enjoying the fact that Margaret Thatcher is still dead. And the only thing that I regret about Margaret Thatcher's death is that it happened probably 30 years too late. But the point is,
the Alberta New Democrat Party likes to brag about being a bunch of feminists. They, like Trudeau, during their 4-year reign of destruction here in Alberta, did their best to boast a woefully inept, albeit gender-equal cabinet. Priorities, right? Perhaps, though, just like with Trudeau, their feminist preening is deflection and projection away from their own sins. Trudeau bragged about his own feminist record and gender parity in cabinet because it was 2015, to cover for his past abuse of power and stature against less powerful women. Trudeau groped a reporter in Creston, BC, remarking that he would not have groped her if he had known she was a national reporter. The Alberta NDP has a real problem with sexism, particularly with their grave dancing on a departed female leader of our Commonwealth ally, the United Kingdom. One of their MLAs, Marlin Schmidt, celebrated the death of Conservative Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, lamenting the fact that she didn't die sooner in a speech in the legislature. Just watch.
Mr. Speaker, people would be interested to know that the author of that letter was one Margaret Thatcher. And before I continue to go on, just let me say that I am no fan of Margaret Thatcher. If nothing else goes right for me in a day, Madam Speaker, I can at least count on enjoying the fact that Margaret Thatcher is still dead. And the only thing that I regret about Margaret Thatcher's death is that it happened probably 30 years too late. But the point is...
What an absolute ghoul, a disgrace, heartless, petty, and grotesque, definitely unbecoming of Alberta's legislature. Although not shocking from the party where the leader wears a Che Guevara watch. But Schmidt said this monstrous thing because he knows he can get away with it. He knew there would be convenient silence from the mainstream media and no consequences from his own party, because Schmidt has done this before. The time before, Schmidt wasn't sexist and ghoulish, however, he was pretty darn racist by any measure the left uses. Conservative MLA Prasad Panda was born in India, but he's as Albertan as anyone. But look at how Schmidt referred to Panda just a few short months ago. Here.
And the member from wherever the hell he's from, Minister of Infrastructure.
Do you think for a second a Conservative would get away with this? Notley recently drummed an Indigenous lawyer out of a government appointment because the lawyer disagreed with Black Lives Matter, sharing a post made by Black Conservatives calling BLM a Marxist lie. Notley said it wasn't enough at the time to be not racist, you had to be anti-racist. So why is Schmidt still an MLA in her party? Perhaps her anti-racism talk is just a deflection, like her feminist talk too. And the media is, as they are on all NDP scandals and problems, asleep at the switch. But not us here at Rebel News, because we did something to make sure that when people want to know what Marlin Schmidt is all about, they will get the unvarnished truth. We bought marlinschmidt.com, and when people Google his name, they will see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears the things he has said about a woman politician and a minority colleague whose only unredeemable crimes in his eyes were being conservative. People will know what NDP leader Rachel Notley allows in her party and what the mainstream media in Alberta turns a blind eye to every time they Google Marlin Schmidt's name. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you'd like to know the truth about Marlin Schmidt and hear the racist, sexist things he said in his own words in our legislature here in Alberta, please go to marlinschmidt.com.